So it's time for our first presentation to take up. Step up, so Nathan, please take the stage.
I'm not sure if you guys noticed it, but
Do us proud, brother.
So my name's Nathan Gaskin. I'm running for president. Running for president, that's much better. I'm sorry for interrupting your lunchtime, but I've got a couple of important things to talk about. So when students here at Middlesex University, we struggle to get housing. We struggle to have lectures that fit into our busy lives. We can't get sport, we can't play sport because timetabling starts. The security on campus, none of us really know what's going on there, but a lot of us feel unsafe. There's a lot of issues that I'd like to talk to you about today, and I'm looking forward to a lot of you have prepared questions for me. But without further ado, I'd like to step down and let other people speak. Thank you.
Very well done. We have our next candidate up to the platform, please.
Go on, Prince!
Yes,
Hello guys, I'm James, I'm going to be a student president. I'm going to encourage everybody to keep on graduation, for free, keep on better food, all options, supplies of students, holidays, income holidays, and also support society. I'm going to support the society. I'm supporting the disabled students, improve the whiteboard, and I'm waiting for the solutions.
Thank you very much.
Go on, Prince!
And now, Audrey, would you like to take the stage?
Make sure you hold it close to your face.
Hello guys, my name is Andre Thompson, and you guys won't be as president because I have the ultimate strategy. I'll put it simply, I do value your time and I know you're very busy, but please do listen up because I'm going to say quickly, I can come and read you if you don't already know you. I know you agree. I'm not thinking this always far to make you more stress-free than your daily herbal tea. Societies can now put up the news in £10 media and publish 7 magazines, step 1 engagement. The first part of the strategy, come represent about consent of the community. Ensuring next year, our Wednesday schedule is kept free for work, sport, recreational activity. Now my main priority this year, you can check out my music video on Facebook, my main priority is this year to get cheaper food on campus, and a lot of people have done my manifestos as well. The difference is I've done it for a year and also an electoral campaign. An example of that is I've just been improving about the things for school and I'm designed to get what is going to grow and not opening hours, so that's going to follow through. And I believe that works so effectively because we've got students involved, just like the Wednesday afternoon campaign. And I think we need to do more of that. So very proud of you. Thank you.
Hello?
Hi everyone, I'm Simba. I'm running to be the next MDXSU president. As an open campus, many people ask me, why should I vote? How does it affect me personally? Now let me tell you how the Students' Union affects you. If it wasn't for the Students' Union, the place that we sit in right now would be half empty and look like a rundown college canteen. But because of the campaign that the Students' Union ran, it was transformed from the forum to MDX House. If it wasn't for the Students' Union, first-year students would not receive free NUS discount cards, the first and only university in the country to do so. If it wasn't for the Students' Union campaign, you would not have free printing, the first university in the country to do so. If it wasn't for the Students' Union campaign, and Saeed in particular, 50 Syrian refugees would still be suffering in refugee camps in Lebanon, where their children would be saved, would not be saved. So that's what the Students' Union, that campaign, can do for you. So when it comes down to this election, it's about a choice. Do you want a Students' Union that campaigns and puts the cost of living as a #1 priority in terms of campaigning? Do you want a Students' Union that campaigns to ensure that you feel safe on your campus? Do you want a Students' Union that fights for Wednesday afternoon free? If so, vote Simba.
this year are already half price from what they were last year. How much cheaper are you intending to make them?
So that's a question, I think, about the sports memberships and how much cheaper you plan on making them, etc. So 30 seconds from now.
That was actually a mistake. It was meant to be gym membership, not sports. I would like to keep us. Yes,
Okay, thank you very much. Would anyone else like to discuss sports or gyms membership? And then, if you first last time, anyone else just those two? And 30 seconds from now.
Okay, on the issue of sports gym membership, I think our university here we can try to do, we can try to put the membership and everything included on our tuition fee we pay. So it's either university can stay now and say, you know what, if you join uni, just say, you're going to be, do you want to join the gym membership? If you say yes, then it can be even a 50% discount, which included on your tuition fee, instead of coming every time you have to pay the monthly or yearly membership. Thank you.
That's time. Very well done. Who's let's go.
I'm going to be honest with you, and I'm not going to sell you a dream. You cannot reduce the price for sports. The reason is because if you reduce the price of sports, you reduce the amount of money that sports takes in, which would mean a reduction in the quality of the facilities. That's why I'm talking about increasing the budget for sport from the university, so that the quality is better. That means sports will provide better quality. By the university, instead of having to put it within the university fees. We're already paying 9,000, we shouldn't have to pay extra. I'm sorry, it should be subsidized by
And that's time, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Well done there. Andre, would you like to answer that question?
Right, now the number one struggle that sports have is with turnout. A lot of the time you can't get the full teams for your sports. Now that's because of the Wednesday afternoons, but not all sports happen on Wednesday afternoons. So I want to make sure we're dealing with dealing with situations on a case-by-case basis by putting together a team who deal with the Wednesday afternoon campaign. So if someone comes to us with an issue, we can make sure that we deal with that particular student on that course and try and make it work for them. Because it's not just going to happen by making Wednesday afternoons free.
And that's perfect, thank you. And Nathan, finally?
There's not much really to add on this issue, but I would suggest the sports budget is already low, as I agree with everyone else. But giving free membership to everyone, where the membership of the gym is already extraordinarily low, would just not be a good idea. But also, if everyone had free membership, the gym would be full up all of the time. So it's not something that I would want to change. I would want to attend. It's not something that.
And that's time, thank you very much.
My question is to Nathan, and I would like to know what you mean by new student housing contracts.
So that was a question about your manifesto point on housing contracts. So 30 seconds from now.
So this aligns with my ideas surrounding blacklisting bad landlords. As I'm sure you're all aware, the road landlord and bad estate agent system in Hendon is very annoying for all of us. So what I would suggest is putting the landlords who have been blacklisted, who clearly try to scam everyone, who are pretty bad, we would force them to only sign contract with students where the contract is in our favour, so the students are protected.
And that's time, thank you very much. Thank you. Would the others discuss housing contracts? Just you two, or with the rest of you? Andre first this time.
Now, the housing campaign has been a number one priority for the student union this year, and what you see develop after this election week is all our campaigns will be based around housing. And one of the things related to bad landlords is the fact that in our process of running this campaign, we decided that we're going to build a team to deal with bad landlords on a case-by-case basis. So let's get the people in contact with the landlords and tell them what they're doing is wrong, what the implications of what they're doing, and we can get lawyers to write to them as a result of that. That's been part of the process we're doing. Thank you.
And that's time.
Hi, as I mentioned this on Monday, because of you aware, the housing campaign passed as a referendum a few weeks ago. It's now official policy of the students' union, as Andre said. Whatever happens after elections, the students' union team, the director of the students' union will already take up housing. It's now an official campaign of the students' union that will focus on housing. What I can do as president is continue to support that, work around that, creative ideas. The housing, the blacklisting, the road landlords will be a thing next year, regardless of who the candidates are. That will be a thing. Road landlords will be blacklisted. That's just regarding housing. Thank you.
And that's time. Thank you. So that's a question about students and car parking. I think they said this sort of car park in general and how we're going to deal with students. Obviously, more students want to park on campus. So which do you like? Do you want to answer that? Let's start with Mason.
So on the question of car parking, it's not something I agree with, unfortunately, because London has one of the best public transport networks in the world. The university can't even doesn't have enough space for parking for all of its lecturers. So how can we try and get 19,000 students parking in the university? So I'm afraid it's not something I agree with.
Let's go back this. Let's go back down the line this time. Now, chance. Would you like to answer that?
I agree there's a lot of space for people to park on. So that's why the university should work with the parking and government to get parking for us and be cheaper
We've got time.
I agree the parking is not enough for lecturers alone, so that's why I'm suggesting that the university should work with the parking department to make it cheaper or free for students.
Thank you very much. Andre, would you like to answer the question?
Now, as I mentioned before, the bill tennis space is up for review. It depends what the demand from the students is like. If they say they want parking, there's potential to make that parking facility. But I do think that's unlikely as the majority of the population are against it. Now, what is going to happen is there's talks about developments in Great Cross, and there's potential to have the car parking spaces there. We can make that free for students. Then we'll organise shuttle buses from there to the university if you're coming from the long way. And we can also highlight where the free parking spaces are locally.
And that's time. Thank you very much.
Hi everyone. As I said previously, I'm not going to say your dream, that's something that's not going to happen. University is stretched for space. We now have space for a sports hall. That concerns a lot of students. Certain parking that we don't even have for lecturers to take consent. I don't agree with building a parking space or giving parking to students. I'm sorry, but I'm not going to. I don't agree with a policy that does not work in the best interest of the university. What we can do, however, what we can do is work with the local council in order to increase parking spaces for the local community that will include students. So make the local parking spaces within around campus, around university.
That's time. Thank you very much. That's time.
I think I can agree more than what Simba and Nathan say, but I always say, John Blair used to say this, an art of leadership is to say no, because everyone can say yes, and at the end of the day, you can do it everything. That's it. I think we can do much, we can do no, I mean, we cannot do that much in public. So what Simba say, what Nathan say, I want to agree with them. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. So a question there, very good question about how you're going to increase women in leadership roles. So who would like to respond to that? You'll like to? Sorry. Is there anyone else that goes first? Okay, Nathan, you go first this time.
With regards to, I don't have any specific policies on leadership roles. However, I am very, very open to the liberation assemblies and giving opportunities to all students, regardless of gender, race, anything. With regards to the policy, I'm as open as anyone, and I would definitely reflect that in all areas.
Thank you very much. Andre?
Now, as one of the points of our manifesto is to boost the profile and power of our liberation assemblies, and that was the Women's Assembly as well. We need to provide them more support and training to be able to effectively go out on campus and get more students involved in leadership positions. Now, those people who get involved, they should get training and support as well at the same time. And by doing that, we create leaders. For example, the same Student Assembly, that's what we've done. We're running a campaign on Monday, and out of that, we can get more leaders for next year as well.
That's time. Thank you very much. Princess,
So for instance, the presidential candidates are men, that has to be women. Nobody will take us out to be women. So if you do, we support and promote it as well. You have to, basically you have to encourage yourself so we can encourage you.
Okay, thank you very much.
Hi. Before I start this question, I want to give a shout out to my very friend, Chris over there, who does so much for women in this university and around in other stuff like Comic Con and anti-sexual harassment. So a big shout out for her. Right. I don't take a lot of time, but I will talk about women's quickly. I will refer back to the issue of the answer gender balance. And the question was raised that do we need to have coaches and do we not have coaches or not coaches? Sometimes I think coaches work to have a coach where at least a certain amount has to be women. But I think another thing is to empower women by training.
And that's time. Thank you very much. That's time. Thank you. Have we got one question?
Also about to answer this question if I have to. The thing is, we need to encourage a lot of people to go to the student union, especially to nominate themselves, and also to make sure student union. I believe student union gives a fair space and fair vacancy for everyone. But we need to encourage a lot of people to come to the student union, encourage themselves to nominate themselves also for any position which will be published or.
And that's time. Thank you very much.